Hello and welcome to the third week of Season 21, Season of the Deep, starting on June 6th, 2023. So for week 3, let's kick things off with our Legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Devilian Mists, and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Hive enemies and the Plague Kregar. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Shattered Ruins, which can be located over in the Spine of Keris on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a mysterious disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light. The Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare Resortal in Sorrow's Harbour. And the Nightmare hunts this week will be Rota, Despair, Omnigul, Anguish, and the Fanatic, Insanity. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. For the 30th anniversary expansion, we have the loot rotation for Dares of Eternity, which will be on week 3's rotation, with the Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set being available. The weapons available this week are the Kinetic Rapid Fire Frame Auto Rifle Chroma Rush, the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Grenade Launcher Ignition Code, the Void Rapid Fire Frame Pulse Rifle Grid Skipper, the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Sidearm Farewell, the Solar Pinpoint Slug Frame Shotgun Sonja's Tail, the Void Rapid Fire Frame Machine Gun Shattered Cipher, the Arc Precision Frame Fusion Rifle Main Ingredient, the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle Long Shadow, the Arc Omolon Adaptive Frame Sidearm Last Dance, the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Shotgun Toil and Trouble, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Shotgun Wishbringer, and the Void Adaptive Frame Pulse Rifle Last Perdition. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ghosts, where the modifiers are Fire Pit and Raider Shields, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Also this week you will have Altar of Reflection's Choice and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne World weapon, Veritas Armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is Desperate Measures, with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions, Solar Threat, Empath, Overcharged Weapons, Arc and Strand Surges, Overcharged Glaives, and Galvanized on Hero difficulty only. The Partition mission will be Ordnance, Contest Mode enabled, with Overload and Unstoppable Champions, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Shields, Air Superiority modifier, with Solar and Strand Surges. And the Vex incursion this week will be Umsha Park. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the Pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon exotic mission on the EDZ. For the Season of the Deep, the featured fishing pond will be on Nessus. Raids and Dungeons. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the third encounter, Macrocosm, called Cosmic Equilibrium. Players must swap all the dark planets to the left side of the room and all the light worlds to the right. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the third encounter, Golgoroth, called Gaze Amaze. The gaze holder must stand in the pool of unclaimed light when swapping the gaze. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Rogue, called Looping Catalyst. This is where Guardians must not lose the leeching force before the damage phase. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Gatekeeper, called Strangers in Time. Players must defeat the Praetorians and Wyverns at the same time. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Sanctified Mind, called 0 to 100, where you must fully fill each conflux with 30 motes within 10 seconds of initially banking the first set of motes. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the third encounter, Morgoth, called Forever Fight. Players must not kill the small ogres during the encounter. Your Pinnacle raid will be the Deepstone Crypt on Europa, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the first encounter, Crypt Security, called Red Rover. This is where all Guardians must be an operator and shoot the 2 panels on the lower levels. The second encounter, Atrax 1, called Copies of Copies, where you must not send any Atrax 1 replicant debuffs into the airlock/space. The third encounter, Tanix Part 1, called Of All Trades. Guardians must perform each role at least once, Operator, Scanner and Suppressor. And the fourth encounter, Tanix, called The Core 4. Guardians must dunk all 4 cores before each DPS phase. Also, with the Deepstone Crypt being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic rocket launcher, Eyes of Tomorrow. And the Pinnacle dungeon will be the Pit of Heresy on the Moon. Next up, challenges. Into the Depths 3. Complete the Week 3 Into the Depths mission for Challenge XP+. Frontline Salvager 3. Complete 3 salvage or deep dive activities whilst wielding any of the Season the Deep weapons. Additionally, defeat 50 targets with arc or strand anywhere in the system. Guardians grant additional progress for Challenge XP+. Depth Charge. Defeat 5 bosses in salvage activities for Challenge XP+. Short Range Salvager. Defeat 300 targets with submachine guns or swords. Defeating Guardians or combatants in salvage or deep dive activities grants additional progress for Challenge XP+. Nessus Activities. On Nessus, earn progress by completing bounties, patrols, public events and lost sectors for Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Commendation Appreciation. Earn progress for giving 10 commendations in Vanguard, Crucible and Gambit activities for Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Cosmic Churn. Defeat 50 Guardians in Crucible. Bonus progress is granted for opponents defeated with Arc, Strand or Void ability final blows for Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Bank, Kill, Repeat. Earn points by banking moats, defeating blockers and defeating Guardians in Gambit for Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Ultimate Champion. Defeat 60 champions in any Nightfall strike on hero difficulty or higher. Earn bonus progress at higher tiers for Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. And Mid-Range Calibration. Calibrate mid-range weapons, hand cannons, glaives, auto rifles, fusion rifles and machine guns. Bonus progress is granted for defeating Guardians for Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust.
Hello!
As a reminder, your daily lost sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of threats, shields, champions and exotic armor you will find inside. But if you're new to the game or you're using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the lost sector normally to have it show up on your map as a legend/master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team, but you will only be able to earn the chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. Tuesday, June 6 will be K1 Communion on the Moon for exotic boots, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, with Void and Solar Elemental Shields, with Barrier and Overload champions. Wednesday, June 7th will be Sepultura on the Throne World for exotic gauntlets, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Arc and Strand Shields, with Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Thursday, June 8th will be Extraction on the Throne World for exotic chests, Arc Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Void and Arc Elemental Shields, with Overload and Unstoppable champions. Friday, June 9th will be Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City for exotic helmets, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Void Elemental Shields, with Overload and Unstoppable champions. Saturday, June 10th will be the Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City for exotic boots, Solar Threat, Arc and Void Surges, Solar and Void Elemental Shields, with Overload and Unstoppable champions. Sunday, June 11th will be Bay of Drowned Wishes on the Dreaming City for exotic gauntlets, Arc Threat, Void and Arc Surges, Void Shields, with Overload and Unstoppable champions. And finally, back round to Monday, June 12th will be the Vel's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome for exotic chests, Arc Threat, Void and Arc Surges, Arc and Solar Elemental Shields, with Barrier and Unstoppable champions.
Lead the way.
Our third featured Nightfall of the season will see us face off against Navota in the Disgrace Nightfall over on the Cosmodrome, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. This Nightfall is free to play. You'll be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards and adept Nightfall ciphers. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grandmasters. Legend and lower Nightfalls will have 9 barrier and 2 unstoppable champions, with 6 solar, 2 void and 27 arc shields. Masters will have 14 barrier and 2 unstoppable, with 4 solar, 1 void and 23 arc shields. Your Nightfall modifiers are hero difficulty, maximum effective level 1765, matchmaking is available, enemies have extra shields, champions foe, you will face barrier and unstoppable champions, you can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff or unlock anti-champion mods from the seasonal artifact. Arc threat, 25% increase to incoming arc damage, fire pit, acolyte spawn fire pools on death, overcharge weapons, weapons overcharged from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity, kinetic weapons do increase damage when your subclass element matches an active surge, arc surge, 25% bonus to outgoing arc damage, void surge, 25% bonus to outgoing void damage, overcharge weapon, 25% bonus damage to a specific weapon type, galvanized, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun, Legend difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. No matchmaking. Equipment locked, you will be unable to change your equipment once the mission starts. Master difficulty, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Champions mob, this difficulty adds more champion enemies. And Chafe, radar is disabled. To combat champions this season, you have access to subclass counters as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods, which are Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, Unstoppable Hand Cannon, and Unstoppable Glaive. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Anti-Barrier, the Kinetic Bow Wishender, the Kinetic Linear Fusion Rifle Arbalest, the Kinetic Pulse Rifle Revision 0, the Solar Energy Hand Cannon Eriana's Vow, the Solar Heavy Sword the Lament, and the Titan Exotic Gauntlet's Second Chance, which gain a second charge of your shield throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. And for Unstoppable, the Kinetic Fusion Rifle Bastion, the Kinetic Hand Cannon Malfeasance, the Solar Energy Sidearm Devil's Ruin, the Void Heavy Bow Leviathan's Breath, and the Hunter Gauntlets Athris' Embrace, which have a chance to stun unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. And the Grandmaster Nightfalls will return on June 13th. Lord Shaxx brings Team Scorch to the Crucible for the third week of the season. Team Scorch is a 6v6 PvP mode where all players wield a Scorch Cannon. Equipped weapons and abilities cannot be used in this game mode. Movement abilities e.g. lift, jump and glide, sprinting and emotes can be used. Players are forced to use a Scorch Cannon that cannot be dropped. The Scorch Cannon has 100 ammo, which is replenished on respawn. Matches have a 7-minute timer, players have a 3-second respawn timer. Kills give plus 1 point each, the first team to reach 60 points wins. If the timer runs out before the team reaches 50 points, the team with the largest score wins. The players' current and longest streaks are shown at the top of the screen below the score. And Clash will also be returning this week in the Relentless Crucible playlist. Clash is a 6v6 PvP mode where level advantages are disabled. Points are gained through scoring kills against the opposing team. Players are not penalised for low map control and can bunker down together or fan out as they see fit. Strength in numbers is paramount, as a lone player can be picked off very quickly by a team shooting enemies. Heavy ammo can swing the balance of a match, so controlling the box can be the key to winning. Super usage, both offensively and defensively, is one way to break the deadlock.
Delightful!
Trials of Osiris Dominion will be back at the weekend with some new loot to chase this season, like the Unexpected Resurgence Glaive and the returning Messenger Pulse Rifle. There are also some new rewards for players who make it to the lighthouse and open the chest. These include the Hero's Wake Exotic Ghost Shell, the Valiant Memory Exotic Ship, the Survivor's Journey Exotic Sparrow, and the new Trial Shader, Glorious Patina. Trials of Osiris Dominion is a 3v3 PvP high-stakes game mode with a twist of capturing points. In Dominion, 2 teams of 3 go head-to-head in a battle for control of a capture point. Teams can either work together to capture the control point or eliminate the enemy team to win the round. Only available from Friday reset until Tuesday weekly reset, Trials gives every player the chance to show off their PvP skills to obtain some of Destiny's most sought-after weapons and armour. Players that compete in Trials of Osiris will have all of their games tracked through a passage card, a ticket purchased from Saint 14 in the lower hangar of the tower. Winning rounds and matches in Trials will grant exclusive weapons, armour, Pinnacle gear, Masterwork material, and even Adept gear for the most skilled players who can reach the lighthouse with a flawless ticket of 7 games won and no losses. 5 round wins will bag you the match for your passage card. By competing in Trials, you do have a chance to pick up 2 Pinnacle engrams from playing each week, one from 50 round wins and the other from winning 7 games. These do not have to be done all in one go, but you do have to complete them before the weekly reset.
That is amazing.
And that's it for the third week of Season of the Deep. Thank you for watching. Allons-y.
Guardian down.